What's up, otakus? How you guys doing? It's a Thursday, getting ready for the weekend, and I just want to jump on because there's just a lot has happened. Um, a lot's been going on in terms of comic books. Um, I guess in my corner of the world. um, I guess we'll start with an update, CGC update. So, as you know, I have some books at CGC and we're reading, and I just got some status updates, which is really exciting. First off, the one book I submitted for the Peach Momoko signing at CGC, that's currently scheduled for grading right now. So I would imagine, New York City Comic Con's finished. She probably spent a few days in New York just to kind of recoup, do some sightseeing, spend some time in the city. And then she's going to make her way down to Florida to do the signing. And I anticipate that's probably going to take like a full day of just signing books. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people send in books. I know just like in my sphere alone, several people sent books in. So I can only imagine what, even with New York and everything that went on there, I can only imagine how many books were actually submitted. I mean, she might be just overwhelmed. I mean, it might take a few days for her to just, you know, sign. But who knows? I mean, there's probably a lot of books there, and I know she can sign a lot of books. She'll probably just be kind of rushing. And fortunately, there wasn't like a remark. Like she's not doing remarks. She's just signing. So that should progress a little faster. But it just remains to be seen what kind of how many actual submissions that she's going to have to deal with. Hopefully, it doesn't affect her hands or anything. We wouldn't want that art to have any, the output to be affected at all. And apparently, there was some drama at the New York City Comic Con involving her. I haven't really, followed or kept up with that. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's just, you know, community members being stupid. Um, and, just uh, there is a pretty ugly side to the hobby, and that's this kind of, the business side of it, that just wanting to profit, take something, flip it, and do all these things with comic books. I get it; it's fun, it's profitable, but let's remain civil and not try to take advantage of people or situations. It's a hobby that should be enjoyed. Uh, so if you're not enjoying it, get out. Um, yeah, so that one book submission is in, and then a three signature book submission I submitted last winter. It's almost a year, not quite a year. I submitted in December. This was after so my third party sort of a third party witness, third party like grading witnesser, the CGC commissions. They After the Comic Con ended in Seattle, they took the books back to their base in Florida and submitted the books. And by the time everything was, wrapped, packaged, and spoken for, it was a month later when CGC put the books as received. So it took some time, um, but anyway, those three books are now being graded as well. So we got four books currently scheduled for grading. And as you know, once it's scheduled for grading, it takes about 20 days. 20 days from when they post it up to when it gets through QC and sorry, 20 days from to when it gets to QC and eventually ships out. So we're looking at around, I'm anticipating we'll get the books in probably by Thanksgiving, if not before. And as soon as I get those 4 books, we're going to do an unboxing. We're going to go over grades and just thoughts. So again, look out for that next month. It's coming. Also, I just want to shout out some people because we're getting some comics. First off, this isn't really a shout out. This is a Mercari buy. And this Mercari buy is a book I've been eyeing since the summer. I would say the start of summer. And, it wasn't that expensive. It wasn't that expensive at all. I had no budget for it. I've been selling books and I've been just kind of saving like maybe $15, $20 here and there. And using that for my half price books hauls. But this, to get this book, I would have had to have just saved up $35, which I wasn't able to do, unfortunately. And because my budget is dead. The only way I'm getting money nowadays is through selling comic books, and it's just been difficult to do that. I've been kind of having to look at my collection and deciding which ones I just kind of want to let go for really cheap. But fortunately, I haven't let go anything really major. They've all been just kind of whatever books, kind of bundling them and offering them really cheap. So I'm only just getting making a few dollars off these sales, saving that up, and then it's going right back into half price books pickups. But I've got to say, my half price book, I'm leaving a lot of books at the shop now. I realize my focus has shifted somewhat to, it doesn't necessarily have to be a key or a high price key for me to pick it up. By high price, I mean even if it's a $10 or $15 book, I'm not going to pick it up just because it's a key and it's a $10, $15 book. We're now really focused on picking up books that I want, or books that I think have a lot of value that have trade value, because I'm seeing that trades are another option to kind of level up and bring in books that I want into the PC. So yeah, just being a little bit more selective, not just picking up whatever we find, but looking at it objectively and saying, okay, is this a book that I want, or is it a book that has trade value, a book that has resale value, or is it just a book that's listed as a key and has a price associated with it that necessarily I don't see value in. So that's one difference. But anyway, this is a book we've been eyeing since summer, and I finally got some money saved up, and before I could spend another dime, I decided to pull the trigger because it was still available. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that this book was still available for the price that it was at. And so finally I got it. And now, man, this is anyway, I'm going to reveal it when we open up all this stuff. And it's going to be this weekend. As you know, if you follow me on social media, I also picked up my first Golden Age book. So yay to me, congratulations. It's a Golden Age key, and it's a really interesting story. So I'm not going to get into that, but when I reveal the book this weekend, I'll go into how I came across it. So yeah, we're going to do big unboxing and comic haul video this weekend. I'm thinking I'll go live Saturday night. So we're featuring Meet the Collector on Saturday. And if you're watching, yeah, what's up? I'm not going to reveal you yet. We're going to do it as we approach. But if you're watching, I'll see you Saturday. But yeah, we're gonna do Meet the Collector on Saturday with Naman Young and I, and then I'm gonna probably go live right after that and do my comic haul video and some unboxing. So as you know, this is one of the books that we're gonna open up. I'm also gonna open up this book here. This is a giveaway win from Cats fan Comic Man, and I just want to give him a shout out and just really thank him. So thank you, Cat fan, for first of all, thank you for being a great community member. I'm just happy that you're getting subs. People are engaging with your content. I really enjoy your daily toy and comic. Hey, what's up, Naman Young? Yeah, I got the win. So I just got I got this today in the mail, and I'll reveal it on Saturday. I'm doing an unboxing and a comic haul video. So we'll unbox this one. It's a giveaway from Cat Fan Comics Man. And again, I got something off Mercari. So those two are going to be unboxed. I also have another, I guess, AOK from Fanboy Prime. He sent me a book. Again, it's a book that I've been wanting to add as well. So that's coming probably Friday. I think I got a notification that it's scheduled to come in tomorrow. I'm sorry, either tomorrow or Saturday. We'll get it Saturday, but by Saturday at least, I think. Could come earlier. And so we got 3 unboxings on Saturday, plus the comic haul video. It's the comic haul is, including the 3 books I'm going to reveal, is a 16 book haul. And the other thing I wanted to update was, the 15 comic book trade a while back. I think, over the weekend, I commented that I did a 15 book trade. 4 books on my end. I'm getting 11 books. That trade is with Craven Hunts Comics. So go follow him. It's at Craven_Hunts_comics, or could be all one word, at Craven Hunts Comics. But go check him out on Instagram. He sells, and you can offer him trades. Great Instagram page. And he's got great books. Well, he had great books. He either sold or traded a lot of those books away. But he messaged me earlier today and kind of was like, again, we were, we have a trade going. We were just trying to coordinate when we'd ship out. And I just said, hey, whenever you get a chance to go to the post office, just give me a heads up. I'll go to the post office that day as well, and we'll ship them out the same day. We'll exchange tracking numbers. So, yeah, this is going out tomorrow at noon. His package to me is going out as well. So we'll get that book probably early next week. And that one I'll do a separate video because it's 11 books. It can be its own sort of trade haul video. I'm really looking forward to that as well, because we're getting some good books, and it's my first sort of real I mean, I shouldn't say my first real trade. I've done a trade before, but it's a first real sort of significant trade with like many books being exchanged. Whereas before it was, I think I traded one and got three back. Yeah, that was the previous trade. But again, I'm down to trade more books. So, if you're watching this video, just, I like Jim Lee. If you got a Jim Lee book you want to get an offer for, um, I will bite. I'll be like, yeah. So John Byrne, uh, Mark Silvestri, uh, Jim Lee, Neil Adams, John Romita Sr., any of these guys, Peach Momoko, any of these individuals, if you have books of theirs that are, that aren't already in my collection. I mean, even if they are in my collection, some of them, I depending on the book, I could want doubles. But for the most part, if it's not in my collection, it's by those artists, I will want it. So, boom. All right. Okay. So those are all the things that are coming up. Again, got books coming in from CGC, got a trade coming in. I'm going to do an unboxing and a comic haul video on Saturday. So those are the things, those sort of the big announcements. Another big announcement. So um, there was there's a like a comic book guy near me who was just looking to unhaul um, some items, and I went over and picked up the full set. These are hardbound. These are really nice, but the hardbound whole set of Wicked and the Divine, and also Paper Girls. So we're going to be busy doing some reading, catching up on that. And what's really cool is I own both of these number ones in the comics. Again, Young pickups, just half price book pickups that I picked up. Partly I got them just because they're kind of like spec books. And I was really looking forward to Paper Girls, but apparently Paper Girls just ran one season. They pulled the plug, which, I don't know. I just tend to think like, maybe Ali Wong, you know, I was really excited when they did the casting for her. Um, and I know her domain is really comedy. But this was sort of more of like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was comedic elements mixed in, but it was more sort of like a dramatic horror sci-fi kind of, you know, action suspense type drama. And I just can't help but think like, I don't know, you know, it would have been nice to see that show have success, but at the same time, um, knowing how Asian leads and Asian projects have kind of failed in the past, it didn't surprise me that a show like that, um, where you have women of color, uh, or actually young women of color, um, not being able to pull in viewership, um, especially when it's like comic book content. Like this is a book, this is a series that should have been a smashing success, uh, but for whatever reasons, and they're things that really plague, I think, you know, people say they want diversity, um, and inclusion in the hobby, but you know, there are also people out there spouting some pretty awful hate. both online and, you know, uh, I think, you know, you'll see that at comic shows as well, comic cons, and wherever, you know, you have, uh, you know, people with differing opinions kind of, uh, you know, engaging with each other. You're obviously going to have conflicting views. So anyway, kind of sad to see those series. So just picked up some books. Those are comics I'm looking forward to read. I hear they're really good. So even if they're not hit television shows, they're I'm sure they're a great read. Okay, now let's get to Black Adam. Now I didn't I'm I don't I haven't seen a movie in the theater in a really long time. And I'm going to tell you the last movie I saw in the theater. It was with my wife. We saw Crazy Rich Asians in the theater. And I think that came out in like, I want to say it came out like 2019. Yeah, maybe 2018. Uh, it was a long time ago. It's like years. And I think it was way before the baby came. It might have been right before the baby came. But anyway, that was the last movie I saw. And the movie I saw before that was it was a what was it? I'm trying to remember now. Oh, it's been so long I can't even remember. Yeah, I can't remember right now. It'll come to me at some point. But it's been a while. But it's like in between. Like we just don't go to the theater all that often because my wife, first of all, my wife's Japanese. So when we go to see an American movie, uh, if it doesn't have some like English subtitles in the movie, which they don't, she's not going to be able to follow. So oftentimes they have to be like Japanese movies or just really sort of easy to follow along type movies. And even when we went to see Crazy Rich Asians, she came out going like, I didn't completely understand that. I mean, she got the gist of the story, but she couldn't get all the jokes and all that stuff. So because it was pretty much like an American movie, right? Um, but yeah, so Black Adam, it's coming out soon. I'm really excited for it. I'm not going to go see it, but I will eventually watch it when it comes to DVD. And you know, I think right now I've seen scenes from like the trailers and scenes from the YouTube, and I just saw something I wasn't intending to see it with my, you know, like I wanted to kind of like be in a shroud of like have some mystery to it when I do eventually get around to it. So I have to kind of avoid, you know, like big reveals and stuff, but I couldn't avoid it. It was on YouTube and someone had posted like, you know, they were in the movie theater, like filming a scene from it. And I'm not going to give it away. Don't worry. I'm not going to give it away. But that spec, that Black Adam spec, man, it's huge. Um, and I'll just say that I did pick up a book that sort of playing off that Black Adam spec again. What's going to be revealed in the movie, which I just accidentally saw on YouTube just recently, that uh, spec is playing out. Basically, I called it. I called that spec many moons ago. Well, it wasn't that many. It was last year. It was last year after the DC Fan Fest announcement. So it was right around this time. Yeah, it was right around this time after New York City Comic Con, DC Fan Fest. That's when that Black Adam trailer got released, and I said, "Dang, I gotta get that book." So I had one copy of the book, but it wasn't a great grade. I would say it's like mid grade, maybe 6.5 grade. And I mean, it looks great. It's just there's a little tear and spine ticks, and there's issues with the book. But yeah, when I saw that trailer, I was like, we got to get a high grade copy of this. You get a high grade copy of this book. And I went on eBay and got one for, at the time it was, and it hadn't peaked like it has, but at the time, I think I picked it up for, it was under 50. I picked it up for like $40. It was a really high grade copy. And now I think it's going to I don't think people are going to want to sell it. It's going to just, from here on out, it's going to spike. And again, I just won't get into the reasons why I think that, but you'll for those of you following along on YouTube or keeping up, or whoever sees the movie, you'll know in a few weeks or days what that news is going to be. It's just going to be like, yeah. I mean, man, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was just like, dang, good call, B. Because normally we don't spend money on a book that is completely speculative. I don't do that, but I did with this book, and I've done it with certain books. So the certain books is like, the reason being is like, first of all, I have an interest in that book. So when I think, okay, that book, I think they're going to do this with that book. And in those instances, I'll want to get it. You know what I mean? Like if it's X-Men, like for example, Wolverine's a great example, right? I think we're going to see a really sort of MCU targeted Wolverine Origins movie. Now, whether that's coming or not, in my head, I see that happening. So it's totally unfounded, right? But in my head, that's what I want to see. And so when we get gleans of that scenario, like, no way, really? That's when I'm like, okay, we got to pick up. I mean, I already have the origin, so it's like I already, spec'd on that already, but it's nothing to spec on because there's no news of a Wolverine Origins MCU movie coming. But that's what we want to see. But this specific Black Adam one was in the back of my mind. I was like, they may that may very well come to fruition if Black Adam is very popular. And I just wanted to get it. And then rumors started popping up and like all this stuff started happening. And I just like, okay, this might have some legs. And that's when we pulled the trigger. And so I could kind of go over, I have actually some pickups. I don't want to reveal it yet, but I'll go over another. So, as you know, this isn't really spec anymore. It's sort of like just anticipation, right? We know Secret Wars is coming. We just don't have any details on, how how the story is going to unfold. Like, but all indications are. Let's backtrack here a little bit. So, I don't know if you're aware, but Marvel, they license titles as well, and apparently Marvel went ahead and there's a project that's licensed. The movie title is Avengers Excursions. Okay. And this is either this is probably going to be coming out right around the time of Secret Wars. Okay. So I'm thinking, they've kind of mapped out, hey, Surfer, what's up? They kind of mapped out Secret Wars. They're in the process of, everything is leading up to Secret Wars, but we don't have any indication of what's coming after Secret Wars. But mind you, Secret Wars is just the start of Secret Wars, right? Everything's leading up, and then boom, we're gonna have Secret Wars, and we're gonna get some version of this and some version of this. Like, I think it's gonna be an amalgam of both things. But one thing you should be aware of: Doom is going to be central. He's going to be the central villain to all of that. Okay, you can bank on that. That is as good as banked. And the reason is, if you look at, again, after Secret Wars, there's going to be a movie called Avengers Excursions. Excursions is literally new event. You go back and look at New Avengers 33, I think. It's that storyline and Doom is so central to that. And it leads to this, right? It leads to this. For those of you who don't know, this is Hickman. Hickman's run on Secret Wars, and basically it's like a reset. It's kind of like all the multiverses have an apex. This is sort of like it's the same concept in the Dark Tower series. You have all these different timelines, right? Infinite number of timelines, but they have not an apex. They have a center. They all intersect through like a center, and that center is sort of like a vacuum or vortex. Okay, well, this is all sort of speculation on my part as well, but it's drawn from these books. And so what happens is all the multiverses, whatever, collide, and they create this sort of black hole event where all the heroes sort of converge, and there's just sort of this, what's left is an all-powerful being who kind of enslaves everybody. And it's this very dystopian sort of landscape where there's nothing there, and it's just like an almighty, a powerful ruler, evil ruler leading this, who caused sort of that event to happen. Now, the theory is that it's Doom, and he's controlling or has enslaved all the superheroes, and the superheroes are in like different factions, and apparently it's going to play out like kind of like Game of Thrones. You have like a superhero faction. You have like a you know, sort of a, you know, the villain faction. And then you have sort of like these anti-hero, like you just have different factions and they're all vying for power and they're all trying to overthrow Doom. And then it's fun to spec on how that's going to play out and who's going to be central to that story. But Secret Wars is going to probably be the biggest movie event of all time. Okay. And, for those of you like, anyway, my advice to you is it's an expensive book. Okay. Secret Wars #8. It's an expensive book, but I'd go out and get that. Just buy it. Buy it at a good price. Try to get it at a good. And I've seen people after the Secret Wars news dropped. I saw people on YouTube just drop everything and go buy a clean, real high grade copy that week or that day, and they still got it for a really good price. Whether you can do that now, no. Basically, the lower grades went up to the higher grade tier, the higher grades went up higher. And so it's just everything kind of leveled up and they'll continue to level up. So I guess my advice to you would be to still pick it up because it's a key book. It's a big, major book. Just one to have for the PC, right? It's probably if not one of the top copper age grails. But go and pick that book up. Now, I can't guarantee you it won't drop like a rock after the movie premieres or after the whole, phase 7, 8, 9, 10 is done with. But what I can guarantee is that book will be a classic book that brought this, just the Marvel universe, like ascended the Marvel storyline universe to another level, right? Because this is the crossover of crossovers in terms of Marvel. Marvel. I can't think of like a storyline. At least in I'm not reading many modern books, so I can't speak for the modern storylines. I'm sure there are some, mega super major events, but in the era I was collecting copper to 90s, Secret Wars was it. Secret Wars was the event, and so I am definitely specking on this. I'm even picking up these kind of like modern keys as well. This is a great cover. I probably want to pick up not just the previews, but the actual issues, and can try to pick up more issues in this run because they're still relatively cheap. It's like I feel like around the $20-$25 range. So pick more of those up. This one actually is kind of spiking, so I don't think I can pick this one up for $20, maybe lower grades. But again, I've got kind of like a high grade copy coming back. This is also decent grade, probably like an 8.5, maybe an 8.0, not 8.5. I'd say it's an 8.5. It's just not as vibrant as like a 9.8 would be. It's a little dull, but it's still high grade. Definitely pick that one up. Pick that one up too. But pick all the Secret Wars books up. They're just, I think, again, it's going to be a big event. They're going to lead up to it. It's years in the making, so it's just going to be this slow slog of people just wanting to pick that book up as more news and more excitement toward it comes out. Okay. The other thing we're excited about is Deadpool 3. As you know, in that trade that I'm getting from in the trade I'm getting from Craven Hunt's Comics is the Wolverine number 88 first battle or first meeting. I don't think it's the first meeting. They've met as teams, so it's not the first meeting. So but it's like their first mano a mano sort of head to head meeting in comics. And also their first, the cover where the first time they've shared a cover, and it's their first battle, the one-on-one battle. So it's their first battle meeting between Deadpool and I think I was mentioning this to someone, and I just think that book is gonna see its best day eventually. It's a hot book right now, so will it remain hot after the movie? Who knows? But up until the movie comes out, it's gonna be a pretty sought after hot book. So glad to pick that one up. And the other thing we're very excited about is Batman Spawn. Okay. This is a book. When it was announced at San Diego Comic-Con, my jaw went right, because it was, first of all, they announced it at the DC panel where Jim Lee was sitting there, and you're just thinking Jim Lee's gonna talk about upcoming DC projects or something. I don't know. He was just talking, and all of a sudden, here comes Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane's like, man, we're getting the band back together. We're gonna do Batman Spawn, and then who else shows up? Greg Capullo. So it's this is essentially what we're getting in about a month and a half, right? In about 2 months' time. In about 2 months' time, we're getting this. I think it's coming out next, because I just saw an update from Capullo. He said he has 8 pages left to go. 8 pages left to go. So this book will make it to print by November, because we're still in October, right? So it'll make it to layout and everything by mid-November. It will late, and so we're going to see this book late November on the shelves, or maybe the first week of December. Who knows? But it's around that time frame, right around Christmas. This is what I want for Christmas. If you're going to get me something for Christmas, this is what I want. I'm going to let my wife know as well. I want this one too. Mark Silvestri. I want this one. This is the big one. Batman Spawn. Look at that. This is the cover. This is the cover for that book. There's going to be a gajillion variant covers for this. Gajillion's a pretty conservative, I think, estimate. There are going to be a gajillion covers. A decillion. I don't know. Decillion. What's beyond decillion? I can't think of it. But it's there's going to be a decillion covers. Todd McFarlane, written by Todd McFarlane. Art by Greg Capullo. That's the main cover right there. I feel like I don't even have to get the main cover book, because I have this one. This is the previews. Just feels like I have the book with that cover there. What this allows me to do is that if I don't get the Capullo book, the Capullo cover, since I have it, we're going to go after the Jim Lee cover and the Peach Momoko cover, and whoever, whatever artist I'm collecting, if John Boy Myers has a cover there, we'll try to pick that up. If David Nakayama does that cover, we'll try to pick that up. Art Germ any of these guys, you know, these modern guys, definitely the thing is like, you know, we can only target maybe 3 books. So I'm hoping it's just like Peach Jim and one of those guys. Um, but I mean, everybody and their mama is going to be wanting to do a cover for that book. So we'll see. There's going to be a lot of incentives and like retailer incentives and just different things where people are going to get a chance to do their version, put it out, sell their copies of it. So excited. So and again, I posted it on my Instagram. In fact, I might have it here. I already know what Jim Lee's cover is going to look like. He just posted his cover for did you see it on Instagram? Oh, it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. You all know how well Jim Lee does Batman, right? You all know that, right? He's one of the best Batman artists out there. So I don't know if you can see this, but go to his Instagram if you want to check it out. Like you know, just see it in real detail. That's his finished kind of. I guess it's still in development, but that's his rough sketch for the Batman Spawn cover. Man, does that look amazing or what? Oh man, I gotta get that book. I'll sell my firstborn for that book. That's just like an amazing book. Well, so are you guys excited for what are you guys excited for in the next month or so? Anything any news that's catching your interest? All right, well I'm gonna wait for a response, but so Batman Spawn, okay, so we got a lot of things. We got the Mark Silvestri Batman, we got Batman Spawn, we've got the Deadpool 3 movie coming out, we've got Secret Wars Way Out, we've got Black Adam premiere this weekend. So lots of exciting stuff on the docket. And yeah, again, I just want to remind you that we are doing an unboxing and comic haul video on Saturday. I'm probably gonna go live right around this time, maybe around 9 p.m. On Saturday. And again, we're gonna do 3 unboxings, hopefully. Go through a 13 book haul, which includes my first Golden Age book to the PC. So we'll reveal that and go over how I came across it. And then next week we're gonna get my books back from the trade with Craven Hunts Comics. We did a trade, so my books are going out tomorrow. His are also being shipped out tomorrow. So I anticipate, it'll probably get here by no later than Wednesday. So as soon as we get it, we'll unbox it on the show. So yeah, got a lot of things coming up. Just excited to share it with you guys. And again, next month we're getting my signature books back from CGC. 4 signature series books back from CGC. I am super stoked to do that unboxing as well. So lots of things coming up. Glad you could join, and we'll catch you in the next one. All right, peace.